Hello YouTube and welcome to GV's Spring 2017 First Impressions video. The first few episodes of all the animes that I'm watching are behind us, so it is time to reflect on all those new animes and see which ones are already exceeding my expectations and if there are any ones that are already lost causes. The first new anime that was to air was Attack on Titan Season 2, the anime that everyone was hyped for. Now, as I mentioned in a few earlier videos, I have not yet started the second season, since I am now very close to finishing the first season. I still have to watch 2 more episodes, hopefully tonight as you are watching this video. And as soon as I have finished the first season, then I will catch up as quickly as possible with the second one. The first new anime that I actually started was Sakura Quest. And Sakura Quest had a very good start in my opinion. I really liked the comedy in this anime. So I think that it will be a very pleasant comedy anime to follow this season. And as I predicted, I absolutely love the animation and the character design that PA Works brought to this anime, as they usually do in all their animes. The same day we also had the first episode of Radha Reset. Now this anime is getting a lot of critique on the internet for being quite boring. Now I have to say yes and no to that. No, it is not boring because the storyline is to me very intriguing. You can really feel the dramatic route that this anime is going to take, and the first 2 episodes already showed us the dangers that there are with using the reset ability. But the storyline is brought in quite a boring way, especially the characters seem to have almost no emotion, which makes the whole anime indeed feel a little bit boring. But I have no problem watching boring animes as long as the storyline intrigues me, and I think that will be the case here in Sakura Reset. The next day we had the premiere of Clockwork Planet. Now I have to say that the first episodes of Clockwork Planet were quite disappointing. I did not feel a click with this anime. I did not like the first episodes, and I am even thinking of dropping Clockwork Planet. I will probably wait until I see the 3rd episode and then make a decision if I will drop this series or not. Because maybe I will replace Clockwork Planet with Suka, because I heard some very positive things about that series. So maybe I will replace Clockwork Planet, an anime that I probably won't like if I continue watching it, with Suka, which has a higher probability of me liking it. The following anime was the anime that took first place on my expectations list, being Sukiyaki Ray. And my god, Sukiyaki Ray gets all my yeses. I will love this anime, that is absolutely guaranteed. I really love 2 sorts of romance in anime. I love dramatic romance like we see in Kuzu no Honkai or a Shigatsu wa Kimi no Uso. And I love this kind of romance, the kind of romance that Sukiyaki Ray brings. It is sweet, but it is not overly flowery. So I will absolutely adore Sukiyaki Ray, and this might already be my anime of the season. Maybe already, but it is certain that I will love it. The following anime was the one that stood all the way at the bottom of my expectations list. The new season of Berserk. But I have to say, these first 3 episodes, they weren't terrible. They weren't as bad as I thought they were going to be. They weren't as bad as the previous season. And also the animation in these episodes, it was acceptable. It wasn't good, okay, it's still pretty shit anime, but compared to the previous season, this was already a big improvement. So maybe I won't hate this season as much as I hated the previous season. Then we have Hinachan Note, but you know why I watch this anime. It is cute, it is moe, it isn't anything special, but I like a lighter anime in all of my seasons, and Hinachan Note will be this one, but it won't be anything special. The anime airing on Saturday was Eromanga Sensei, and I really liked the first 2 episodes. I really like how the comedy switches back and forward between standard comedy that you see in a lot of comedy animes and really edgy comedy. Like that first scene of the 2nd episode, I was watching that and I was like, what? I rewinded it and I watched it again because I couldn't believe that they were using that type of comedy in this anime. Now, if I am informed correctly, then Eromanga Sensei will have an incest element. And you might know that I absolutely hate incest in animes. It is one of the things that I despise the most. So I hope that the incest element won't come to the surface too much and ruin the entire anime for me. A few days later we have the start of Fukumenkei Noise, or the Anonymous Noise. Now remember how with Sukiyaki Ray I mentioned that there are 2 types of romance that I really like? Well, Fukumenkei Noise has that dramatic romance that I really like. And I feel a lot of potential with this anime. Maybe even the most potential of all the animes that I am watching this season. And it also has great music, just as Fuka had last season, which always is an extra positive point. And the final anime that was to air was Sanai Heroine Sodate Kata Season 2. Now, as I said in my preview, I wasn't a big fan of the first season. But the first episode of this 2nd season, I thought that it was okay. I won't say that I really liked it, but it was quite okay. It already solved a bit of a problem that I had with the first season, being the feud between Utaha and Iriri. Now, I also already watched the 0th episode, as you will, which was basically pure fan service. But either way, I feel that maybe I will like this 2nd season more than I did the first. So overall, if I make my top 3 of this season at this instant, then I would say Eromanga Sensei, Fukumenkei Noise and Sukiyaki Ray. Those are the 3 animes that I enjoyed the most during their first episodes. So that was it. That were my first impressions of all the animes that I will watch this season, except maybe Clockwork Planet. We'll see if I continue watching it or if I simply drop it. So as usual, I will thank you all for watching and I will see you all in the next video.